All right, good morning, guys. Happy Thursday, 16th of October. Coming up today, we've got OPEX on the Aussie, GDP on the UK, PPI on the US tonight. Just running through yesterday, Aussie XJO finished up 84, futures flat, 3 points. Overnight move, we're looking about 19 points higher, UK down 28. And S&P up 29. So let's run through. Let's start with the Aussie. Yesterday, trying to remember what we wrote early. Should find a direction early. So what I was saying here is essentially when the prior day, we obviously had that massive dump on the Asia session, but our futures finished higher overnight. What I was kind of referring to was there is a possibility that we just rocket from open. There's been a really big, I guess, recovery in sentiment and the market just keeps rocketing higher. Didn't quite work out that way, although it did move higher from open. So I was entered into, personally, a straddle long here. I was pretty happy with how I traded this, actually, given that the day finished flat. So, took a little bit of profit here. Entered again, took some more profit. Ended up getting stopped out on the break of the lows here. So again, for me, and this doesn't really apply if you're a scalper, but for me, I'm going for those large moves. I know that when this first 15 is, say, 5 points or more in one direction, that about 85% that continue on will not break those lows. So for me, once it kind of breaks those lows, the game's off in terms of, making a really decent day out of it. So yeah, stopped out here, re-entered a little bit lower again with that US that was rallying through the Asia session. Very unlikely that we're going to finish significantly lower with the US up so much. It does happen, but it's pretty uncommon. So that was the Aussie. I don't think there was much overnight on the Aussie. All right, UK. So, sorry, just on the US as well. Strategy that I use quite often is if you have a negative day the day before, if this first hour is green, say 5 points or more, about 33% of the time, I think it won't actually come and break these lows, or it won't, at least within 5 points. I kind of use a line in the sand there. So I always try and, if there's a bit of momentum early, try and kind of predict that this hour is going to finish green, and then essentially it's a really kind of low stress trade where you can just put your stop under the 5 points, say, under the lows here, and you kind of get a bit of a free hit higher. So I think I closed those positions out there for 25 points, I think it was. Yes, UK, I was actually long here, given that, again, what I was looking at last night was basically a flat day, and then the next day we've had the US take off, and the FTSE kind of move higher. So you can see that 13 out of 15 times, when you look at the FTSE move yesterday to the first session high, 57 points or better. Okay, so what I was kind of looking at there is prior day close on the FTSE. Bring it up here. Was 9453. So going by that, I was kind of targeting 9453. So I was kind of targeting that kind of 57 point mark, because 13 out of 15 times when we've generally had that set up, this first session, UK will hit this level at some point. Okay, so that's why I was long here, but turned around very, very quickly when I saw that this was failing. Okay, so when we look at that, let's have a look at the UK. Let's go US Asia session up 20 and first 15-minute change. So we dropped 22 points, I think. So let's have a look at when that happens. UK change, first session low, okay? So you can see there's some really big numbers here. And actually the best result historically has been 52 points. So at 22 points, you essentially got a 100-point probability of, say, 30 odd points move lower, and then obviously a lot more. So I think we actually hit that triple-digit low overnight. So kind of just progressively took profit. Didn't quite get the bottom there, but that's okay. And then the US, okay? So again, took a little bit of profit here. Shorts here. I was really trying to short with see if that kind of early evening was going to be the high for a while. It wasn't, so I kind of got stopped out on the break. Here I had some pretty big positions in place, again, just to see if that 30 points that we were talking about was going to turn here, which it didn't. So again, let's have a look at that. So what I was talking about in that instance was, I'll add the UK first 15-minute change here. So what was I looking at? Okay, US Asia greater than 20. Okay, we've had that big rally through our session. And then UK, not sure where it's hidden, the UK first 15-minute change. You know, we could say less than 20. All right, so when we look at Euro lows, move to Euro lows here. We're going to get that Euro open to low. Okay, so you can see 100% of the time we reach 32 points to low. So that's what I was talking about. So that's saying that when US has rallied hard, UK opens and we get a dump, there's sell-off. All is not as it seems, maybe. That's what that's telling us. And historically, 100% of the time, so this is referencing the Euro open price, 100% of the time we reach 30 points to lows. So again, I was just tearing in here. For some reason, one of my positions got stopped out here, or two of my positions out of my 4 or 5 got stopped out here. No idea why. I must have missed the default stop or something that was on those. But the idea was just to keep tearing in, because if you look at it from that perspective, you know, at this high, you had a 100% probability of 83.4, okay, which played out. And why I was kind of looking at that, I haven't got it on here. No, that's all right. Just looking for that early session high, but it continued on. So a little bit tricky, but if you position size right, you can kind of just keep tearing in and hopefully sleep soundly with that take profit at that 30-point mark. Today, literally don't have any edges that are popping up. Today, we could have a look at, you know, OPEX. So I'd be having a look through here. The only kind of, it's a bit hard when we had flat futures yesterday and not much of a move overnight. Kind of the only thing that I had noted down here was that, oh no, we have started to get some lows there. Up until a few months ago, we rarely had lows in that first kind of 15 minutes, but it looks like That's starting to change a little bit. PPI tonight on the US. Average Asia session move is 7 points. So let's have a look at that. And from Euro Open, about 60% of the time it just breaks in one direction. So let's see if that's true. Okay, PPI. Okay, so first hour move, day change, nothing there. Just it's obvious. Put these two together. It's open to close, open to low, open to high. Okay, now this is what I'm looking for. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You could probably say 9, 6, and how many we got there? 9, 15. No, it doesn't really stack up. Just disregard that. I reckon that break from open, it doesn't look like that stacks up. Anyway, so have a play around with PPI tonight. I'll have a bit more of a look today. That's out at 10:30. Other than that, yeah, OPEX as a general rule can be a choppy day, so just keep an eye on that. But other than that, good luck, guys.